welcome to Check Out This Guy, where we check out guys. I'm Elvire. I'm super excited about this one. No, I'm normal about it, and my pronouns are they, she, he.
I'm Emery. My pronouns are they, she, he, and I think I'm a regular amount of normal this episode.
Maybe not after this episode. Hello, I'm Tich Showers. My pronouns are he, him, or they, them.
Oh no, we have a guest.
We have a guest.
I'm the guest.
And I have never stolen anything from this guest ever in my life.
We're going to see about that this episode.
Tich, please tell us about your guys.
All right.
Or maybe something about yourself first.
About myself, I'm just...
Like, why do you make guys?
Where do I make guys? Or how do I... Maybe start at the beginning, like, how do I make up guys? Or where I started, because this is, like, an ancient thing, but I used to like a game called Golden Sun. And the reason this is important is it forms the framework for viewing all of my OCs.
Interesting. I know Golden Sun, that's like GBA JRPG, correct?
Oh, hell yeah.
A lot of letters there, but it means something. Don't worry about it.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, it means so many things.
Maybe one day we'll get to play that game again, but...
Maybe I'll play it once.
Maybe you can always just hack your Nintendo DS if you have one of those.
Or you could just steal someone's cartridge and then give it back afterwards.
True. You know, the thing about emulators, they're completely free. Hi, this is a podcast about stealing.
Every time I'm on the podcast, we talk about stealing.
It is literally the one thing you've done to me.
It is.
And
I feel no remorse.
Anyway, for the people who probably have not played this game or are not intent on playing this game, the characters usually have like a single element that is assigned to them, like one of the 4 elements of like water, wind, fire, or earth. And that's just going to be important for viewing my OCs because they all have one of these. But I'll start with basically my main boy, the boy that usually everyone gets to see, which is also coincidentally called Tich. I know, I'm very original. But this is...
Nearly everyone that comes on this podcast is like, this is my OC that turned out to be the personification of myself.
I mean, it used to be, but now I've just gone, this boy does not have any brain cells. But maybe I also don't have any brain cells, so the judge is still out on that one. But let's...
I've stolen them.
You've stolen something else, but we'll get to that. So basically, this is after I played Golden Sun, but I played a game called Maple Story. I've already talked to Elvire about this one, but I played a game and I created a character in that. Like, I even paid money to like cosmetically change the character, and that eventually became my OC, Tich Showers. I'll actually just send you guys a little link so you can view a lovely gallery full of pictures. Essentially, he's like a blue-haired boy.
Oh yeah, no, this is a guy with blue hair and pronouns for sure.
He's so blue-haired and pronounced.
I mean, and the funniest thing is about this character, like, he wears an orange t-shirt with black sleeves. This was an in-joke back on the Maple Story forums, because
interesting.
I used to post character pictures of your character and be like, look at all the skills and like what my level is. And I wanted to use that character that I had for like an avatar, but I wanted to be a little bit evergreen. So I just took some clothes that were like level 11, and I was like, this is going to be your personality now. And everyone just loved that. So I eventually was...
Can you tell us a little bit about Maple Story? I'm only vaguely aware of it as like a thing I might have seen YouTube ads for in like 2007.
It was or still is an MMO. Basically, it's like a 2D side-scrolling LMMO where you just build a character of like a certain class. It was basically like a 2D how would I explain this? 2D side-scrolling.
Okay, like an action RPG.
Yeah, action battle RPG. It was very grindy, but I was part of like one of the fan forums of that game, and that's basically how I made up my first ever guy.
Hell yeah.
And of course, because I wanted to, I really sort of adored the design of the character, like the blue hair and the green eyes. Even though he looked very serious when I first conceived him, I was like, I want to keep him. Let's give him like room in that sort of Golden Sun framework. And that's how he became the essential water boy. So there's a lot of art of him like not in contemporary clothes. That art is like the art in a universe that I've like basically sort of set a story in, although there's not a lot of story. I've not written anything. I'm a liar. But in that story, like, he has these water-based powers because his element is water, and he basically has a team of friends that he has to go do missions with. That's the big thing.
I'm sure all those missions go super well for him and his friends.
We love a mission.
Yeah.
Definitely missions are always cool, and we love to get them, and we love to go on them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, the thing that I had sort of written is like he works for an organization trying to do some sort of reclamation in this abandoned, forgotten land that they are apparently survivors of, and they're trying to just collect artifacts, and then stuff goes awry in that universe, and they learn things.
Okay,
but I don't really.
So we kind of got a post-apocalyptic treasure hunter situation.
Sort of, yeah, sort of. But I don't really. I haven't really sort of concretely written things down about that. So things have been in flux since forever. But that's like one of the universes that I basically operate with. The other one, of course, is just a contemporary sort of AU where they're just sort of happy and stupid. And
play volleyball.
And play volleyball. That's another AU. That's another AU that we...
That's a separate one that we made.
This was when we met. if you become...
I meet people and then I force them to make a volleyball AU.
Yeah, like, if you're special enough as a friend, basically volleyball AU.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We did volleyball AU on this podcast, and one of your characters was on a team.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to talk about him very soon.
We're gonna have to talk about him very soon. But not right now, because then I won't be able to talk to you about Tich anymore.
I mean, essentially, I think he sort of still grew on like the character that I basically used to represent myself. Although he's like more now in the mix with like all of the other characters that I have. But he holds this special place in my heart. He's like the first ever OC I've created. And I think I kept his design pretty much consistent for probably about 15 years or so.
Oh wow, he's
old.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's the main boy.
Yeah, I don't think any of my characters are, like, much older than 3 or 4 years old. At least any of the ones that I like, you know. Any of my current characters, you know. I have about 1 million old abandoned ones, but holding on to an OC for 15 years, that's commitment. That's dedication. You've got something special.
And I will use him forever. Forever.
He's a good boy.
He is a good boy.
Never get rid of him.
And essentially now his personality is he's just a dumb water boy. Not a lot of thoughts, he's just a magnet for water, apparently.
Hell yeah.
And
he's basically Haru, isn't he?
He is basically
from Free.
He's basically Haru, but the one thing that I have been considering, like, if he's basically Haru from Free, what if he's not that good at swimming? He just likes being in the water.
I always assumed he was dog shit at swimming. Not gonna lie, I figured he was the slowest swimmer I would ever meet.
God, I miss swimming. I would love to do it sometime. Over the past couple of days, I visited the beaches in Erie, Pennsylvania, and I was sad because there were no lifeguards, so I wasn't allowed to swim.
Oh, that sucks. Seeing water and not being allowed inside it is one of the worst things out there.
I got my little feet wet, so that was enough to sustain me.
But it is basically Tyke's biggest fear of not being allowed in the water.
Rip.
You should always water your boys. It's super important.
Exactly.
Remember to hydrate.
I've been hydrating all podcast right now. Drink your water.
Excellent. Good.
Drink your water. Actually, I'm gonna have a little sippy right now.
I'm gonna chug.
Everyone listening to this podcast needs to have a drink of water right now.
Except if you're driving a motor vehicle. Please put the motor vehicle on the side of the road, have your drink, and then go back. Drink responsibly.
You can hydrate and drive. I think that's fine. Yeah, listen, the drive to Erie was 6 hours. You think I wasn't fucking pulling on my water bottle in that time? You think I wasn't sipping on the highway?
Oh my god, that just sounds so sad that you drive 6 hours and you're not even allowed in the water. That's the worst.
That is the worst. US sounding like a terrible place.
That's fine. I wasn't there only for the beaches. Beaches were like a significant part of it though, so...
A nice bonus.
Yeah, nice bonus speech.
Anyway, now someone's going to be very happy.
I am so excited.
But I'll introduce this as the way I've designed my earlier OCs. So going back to the MapleStory game, I also had like a little alt account just to dump stuff like on it, because you only had so much inventory space and you would just collect stuff, but they'd be very, very conservative in how much stuff a character could actually hold. So people would make like alternate accounts just to hold stuff, like alternate characters. And of course, having already put money into this, but the only thing that was worth it in MapleStory was like getting a new hairstyle and getting a new like face style. I decided I'll give this character some swag to make them look pretty. And so I came up with a red-haired boy, but despite the fact that this was an alternate account, it was still made something like, it still had Tich in it. Basically, this was an alternate version of Tich. But when I grew out of sort of playing MapleStory and was like, I kind of want to develop this universe where basically these characters have these elemental powers, and I could use a fire-based boy in that universe. I was like, I'll just recover that design, and that's how I came up with Rain.
I love Rain.
He's just your tall, gentle, red-haired boy who also happens to love his water boy. Because that was also a thing that I was sort of playing with back then. And basically I created Tyke's boyfriend out of himself. It was basically...
Some Adam and Eve shit going on.
Yeah, I was
here.
just about to say, it's like kind of an Adam and Eve situation.
Yeah, but the whole story is a little bit different. You create an alternate universe where you try to create the same character, and then you smash the universes back together and they fall in love. That's how it works. This is cooler than Adam and Eve.
Yeah, this is how all gay couples find each other, actually.
Yeah, uh-huh.
You just gotta rewrite the whole universe. So yeah, we have Rain. The thing is, I really when I started developing Rain, and this is like kind of awful. I really just was like, this is gonna be Tyke's boyfriend. His like 90% of his personality at the start was like, he's just Tyke's boyfriend. He's just this guy who is enamored by this other guy who's just like, I love water. And I'm like,
personality traits, yaoi.
Yeah, exactly like that. I love that. This is actually a polyamorous thing going on, because Tich has two boyfriends. One of them's Rain, the other one's the water in general.
Well, he has two hands, as you've mentioned before.
I keep saying that, yeah.
But I usually twist that one back to you as well.
One hand is holding hands with Rain, the other one is just splashing around.
There's definitely not pictures in the gallery that basically show that.
No, I don't know, because I have the account, so I get to see more.
Oh yeah, you get to
picture. I see all your pictures.
They are not restricted, those. But the way I basically see Rain as a character is he's sort of the mom friend of the group as well. Like he's sort of calm and collected, but also highly enables most of these other characters. Like he loves the hijinks, but will rein back if things go.
Will he rein back?
He will rein back. Oh god.
That's great. I love that.
And of course, as you've mentioned, because he's Tyke's boyfriend, he will take his last name, so he will be Rain Showers.
Incredible.
You're so good at naming your characters. I'm so jealous of that.
And here's the dumb thing. I didn't even intend that originally.
Great. Good. We love it when fate just hands us one.
Yeah, this one was just meant to be.
It was meant to be. The fun thing is, of course, I've routinely mentioned to people in the past that Tyke Showers is both his name and a full sentence.
Mm-hmm.
True. Yeah.
And that is basically like he's essentially the fire boy. Maybe something else that I should mention, because I have been toying around with these OCs quite a while. Even Rain's like pretty old. I think he's probably at 10 years old now or something. I don't even know. It's been so long. And another framework that I've been using for my OCs, because I watch anime every now and again. How dare I?
That's weird. Who does that?
Who does that? I watched this sort of indie anime called Fate Stay Night. I don't know how many people have heard of it. And a cool thing in Fate that I basically stole was like, oh, they have like this class system. Like you have a saber and you have like a lancer and an assassin. And I'm like, that's actually kind of cool. It's actually kind of what if the weapon you use, because we have this Golden Sun universe, right? What if the weapon you use sort of determine your class? And Rain in this case has a sword. He's basically a sword boy.
Hell yeah. Love a sword boy.
Yeah, I love a sword boy. I wonder if that says a thing about me and the characters I like.
I mean, I think if you're into swords, it just generally means that you're queer. I wish I knew enough about Fate to make jokes about Fate, but unfortunately I don't.
Same. I don't know enough.
I know enough to basically know about things like Fate Apocrypha and stuff like that, but
if you go on the Fate wiki and read a random article on a scale of 1 to 10, how much sense does it make?
What a metric!
It'll probably be a 5.
Okay. You understand about half of those proper nouns?
I would say so, yeah, I would say so. I've played some Fate games, I've watched the animes, the bigger ones, but not any of the more recent stuff. Like they started just pumping out a lot of shows, and I'm just like, I don't have time for all of this. I'm sorry, but I know the basic lore.
I know. What if King Arthur was a girl? What if Leonardo da Vinci was a girl? What if Thomas Edison was a girl? Basically just a bunch of historical figures and mythological figures. What if they were girls?
Yeah.
A question I often ask myself.
You never asked yourself, what if Frankenstein's monster was a girl?
I think that would improve the story somewhat.
I'm not going to tell you any spoilers about any sort of Fate, but maybe that's a thing.
Maybe that's a thing.
Someone's commenting right now.
I now assume if I ever watch Fate Stay Night, everyone's gonna be a girl.
Even if you were a boy, it's basically a trans allegory.
Good shit.
And maybe just to get back a little bit on topic about Rain, maybe that's one of the things that Elvir likes is Rain has basically this large tattoo on his right arm.
Yeah, I love a large tattoo. It's true.
And maybe you'll ask, like, why does he have a tattoo on his arm? And it's because if you are a firecaster in whatever in the universe that I came up with, well, essentially you'll hurt yourself. So the tattoo is a protection spell, so you don't hurt yourself.
Okay.
So
when Tich pitched Rain to me, because we like to joke that I stole Rain, but actually I was invited to a co-parent Rain, I feel like, because I had started playing Genshin and I said, man, I love this character Diluc, I wish I could get him. And Tich said, let me introduce you to the better Diluc.
Great.
And then I stole him.
Because here's the thing, if you go onto my toy house and look at Rain, you'll be like, oh my god, that looks like Diluc. But no, Rain is older than Diluc.
Mm-hmm.
Diluc is basically discount Rain.
Incredible. Hey, with that fire shielding tattoo, I imagine like all, fire mages are gonna, or like all fire elemental users are gonna want that. What if you're just a baker and you don't want to like fuck around with oven mitts all the time? Can you get the fire tattoo then?
I have not actually considered that. That is such a good question. But I would say no. I think it's just to protect yourself from a magical fire and not just regular old fire. But
what if your bakery uses magic fire?
And maybe.
Especially so you can use the protective tattoo.
Yeah.
Oh man, all these mages in mage school doing like extensive study, and then they're like, right, great, thanks for this degree, I am now off to be a baker.
It just reminds me of like Legend of Korra episodes where like the firebenders were like firebending into like these engines in order to get them going. Like that's how the universe works as a result of magic being in here, but everything else is sort of contemporary. But they just get these magic casters like, just cast some fire into the oven. We need the bread. We need the bread.
There's definitely a pizza place that like uses magic fire to make the pizzas and is like really pretentious about it.
Oh, definitely.
That's the magic ingredient, despite the fact that the magic ingredient is just extra basil.
Good ingredient, though.
But you did mention that all people have magic tattoos. That's actually not true, because there's some people who are a sort of half dragon person. They don't need the tattoos. They have the protection built in. They have like dragon scales.
Okay.
That is actually something that I came up with, and maybe it's a good segue into another character of mine.
All right. Okay, dragon, let's go. Let's hear it.
Because this is essentially the favorite character of one of my friends. This is actually the first character that I came up with that is not sort of from MapleStory or anything. This is actually the first bespoke character that I made for the universe where they're doing this treasure hunting business. And her name is Corona, and she's basically half dragon, half person.
Hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Her spear has a little dragon head and with the blade sticking out of its mouth.
I forgot about all the lesbian art. I'm sorry, I'm losing it.
But you're the only one who can see it.
Listeners, there's some beautiful lesbian art because Corona's a lesbian and in love with another woman. Oh, who was the other one again? Oh.
It's
No, let me click on it. It's is it Amara?
It's Amara. All right.
Oh, yeah,
I think we've gotten to the point in the episode where we basically have to make a call-out post to one of my friends. Because all right, first I designed Corona, but then like shortly after I made Amara, which Amara is part of Corona's team in this universe, and let's just say my friend got really enamored by these two, and she was like, what if they're in love? What if...
Great.
and we essentially came up with, well, she mostly came up with the idea like, Corona's just this angry dragon lady. She's just like super angry, and she like does not. At first, it does not compute that that this elf woman is just super enamored with her. She does not realize that she's essentially in a lesbian relationship with her best friend.
Good. No, that's the only way to do queer romance. You just have one be completely oblivious.
So,
people shouldn't know it when they're dating.
The whole thing we've joked about, and I'm pretty sure she'll find this out, is that they, like, in the contemporary universe, they live in like a relatively small apartment and there's only one bed.
Of course, there's only one bed.
Perfect.
I love how she's actually kind of dumb as well.
She is kind of dumb because she's basically her whole personality is she's like this angry dragon. She has like all this pent up rage inside, and you'd think it's a trait of dragons, but I have another character who's basically the same species, and she's not like that. So it's basically Corona is just this very angry woman who is just very angry at everything and everyone. But also she's in love, but she doesn't realize this yet. Or she will at some point.
She will.
That's her whole
One
arc.
day.
I mean, maybe I should specially send this one because this was actually specially made for when I was in a Patreon for my friend's art, and she basically drew that. She's drawn so much gift art of Corona in just
Right.
But yeah, she the way I actually designed her was I wanted a sort of opposite of Tich also in a way. Like that's why she's a fire dragon lady. And I wanted her to be like very cool, like cool in the sense of like, look at her. She looks great. But she's actually made out of fire, and please do not piss her off. She will burn you. She will.
And I think she's right. I think that is correct.
Yeah. Listen, if you're a dragon, you're just like right by default. Cause I mean, who's going to disagree with you?
Dead people.
Exactly.
Future dead people, soon to be dead. I mean, I still love Corona. Corona still has like a very special place in my heart. Like, to the point where in any sort of contemporary setting, she just has all of these misadventures, despite the fact that she doesn't really realize she's in a friend group and those friends like sort of like her, having her around, despite the fact that she's always pissed off and always like sort of angry at them.
Good. We love a Shadow the Hedgehog.
Jesus. No!
Shadow! I love that for her.
Yeah, she could be Shadow the Hedgehog of the group.
Here's the thing, though. Shadow the Hedgehog, genuinely good character. People make fun of him for how edgy he is, but that boy has a character arc. He has a backstory.
I mean, Corona also has a backstory and an arc. Like, it even devolved so far as in, like, she used to be the main antagonist. Like, she used to be the one chasing the other group.
We love Shadow the Hedgehog.
And now I'm like, I have already redeemed her in my mind. She has been redeemed. She is now one of the good guys, but she's still sort of angry. She is like that anti-hero. Like, yeah, she's good, but also do not mess with her.
Have you seen She-Ra? You're also sort of describing Catra.
I've unfortunately not seen She-Ra. It's been on my list, like maybe I should watch She-Ra, and then I don't.
Nah, it's fine. But yeah, the angry cat lady could be Corona, I think.
I think she can fit a lot of angry characters in a lot of things.
Yeah, that's true.
Like one of the things that I actually modeled her on, like especially the scales sort of, are the scales that Karst from Golden Sun has. Like that was a huge inspiration for like Corona as a character, but I was like, what if we made it angry and we gave her like this menacing looking spear? And I would really say that the artist Urax May did a great job on like finishing up that design.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's a great artist. Everything she's done is truly beautiful.
The one thing that has changed, but this is a change that other artists has done. Like, she really has these like jorts that she wears, but people are like, that looks like a skirt, so it's a skirt. So now it's a skirt. It doesn't really matter.
Skirts are cool though. We like them. I'm pro skirts.
I am pro those skirts that are actually pants. I think as a society we should bring those back.
I mean, that's what Corona was initially wearing. I mean, it could be either one. Like, she could basically have two sorts of pants that look sort of similar but function differently.
Mm-hmm.
True.
She could have multiple clothes. Yeah.
Unlike most of my characters who have like several sets of the same clothes, they're basically all cartoon characters.
Tich has so many clothes that you could put him in a different outfit every single day.
He does have several clothes. That was a whole thing that I did at some point. There's actually an animation of that, where basically he cycles through all of his clothes. It was based on Kill la Kill, but that's when I was big into Kill la Kill. But essentially he has like 10 outfits. 10 canonical outfits. And then I got so enamored by one of the outfits, because that's the outfit that the artist who drew it, Urax May, said, like, I need to know what's going on inside of your brain. There's something wrong with you. And I need to find out. And we've been friends ever since.
Hell yeah.
And now that outfit has been given to another character because he looks very dashing in it.
I want to figure out which one it is.
I love designing outfits for characters. It's my favorite thing.
You know what? I'll leave it as a secret, despite the fact that it is pretty obvious once you see it on the other character.
Or you could tell us so that we can discuss it on the podcast.
Don't keep secrets from me. You know I'm bad at that.
All right, I'll actually send it to you, but to describe this to the audience, it's essentially the Angel Bandit outfit where he wears like a blue-white striped t-shirt. He's wearing pink heart pants, and he has like a red scarf on. And that outfit, I feel like that outfit is so good that I kept it, and now Misery wears it.
Misery wears it. Oh my god!
There is artwork of him wearing it.
I know I'm going there. Oh yeah, I'm sorry to type, but Misery does look better in the outfit.
I mean, Misery looks good in a lot of outfits.
True. Tell us a little bit about Misery.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Misery artwork now. She does look pretty good in that outfit.
You've already fallen for it.
Fuck.
So Misery actually, the conception of Misery actually came a little bit from liking Astolfo from Fate Apocrypha, because I was like, wait a minute, you can design a man to be a little bit like a woman. Let's explore this femboyism that we have going on. And I essentially was like, I was designing a third team, and I wanted to add a water character to that team very badly. So I was like, what if I made a femboy? What if I just put a skirt on a boy? And he owns it. Like, those aren't women's clothes that he wears. Those are his clothes, and he knows it.
Those are his clothes. Yeah. He looks so good. My favorite piece of art of him isn't in your gallery. Just pointing that out.
Which one is it?
The one I use for my tablet background.
Oh, it is that. Oh, yeah, that one. That one's too big to upload onto Toy House. But yeah, you are correct. I'll quickly go find it, because this was actually kind of expensive to get.
Yeah, for the listeners, my tablet background is a beautiful picture of Missouri sitting at the edge of a pool, playfully throwing water towards us. And I brought this tablet to professional functions, and they've been like, "Oh wow, cute anime girl," and I said, "Yeah, cute anime girl."
Let me just does the link to Scab work?
Let's see if it does work. Yeah, there it is. Cute. This is cute.
This artist, Hockey they're called, basically he specializes in cute boys. All of the artwork they do is cute boys.
Good shit.
That's a really great niche to be in.
But yeah, sometimes people get so enamored they put it as their tablet background and then go to official functions and they're like, yes, look at him.
It is cool that you can just wear feminine clothing. That's a thing I enjoy doing in real life.
Good. Very good. But yeah, this is essentially my water boy. He just so he fits in the Golden Sun / Fate thing that I'm doing. He's basically a water boy as well, and he has 2 swords, so he's essentially a saber type class.
Mm-hmm.
And he has 2 swords because, femboys have no rules. You basically get 2 swords, one to be like straight and one to be curvy.
Hell yeah. Does that also mean he's bisexual?
Essentially, pretty much all of my characters are really gay. They're really gay.
He's super
Fair.
gay, yeah. Oh, he does have a straight sword and a curvy sword.
He does, doesn't he? That was actually intentional. I was like, let's give him 2 swords. And let's make one of them be straight and the other one be curvy.
Yeah, that's a bisexual weapon choice if I've ever seen one.
I mean, he very much owns the fact that he is a man, but...
He's amazing.
It's a different dichotomy. But I do love his design. Like, oh my god, Mei did so much good work. And also another artist, because I actually designed this with an artist called Limbonix. Like, he did a lot of designs for a bunch of characters that I have now, especially like the latter characters. He's very good at like character design.
His color schemes are very good.
Oh yes, very yes.
I love looking at Missouri.
I mean, he's also the favorite character of another friend that I have who does like a Pokemon Ask blog, and at some point I just sent them an ask, just being like, "Hey, you're amazing. You're doing amazing work," and they just replied with that artwork, like with artwork of him unprompted.
Aww.
And I'm like,
that rules. That's so cool.
I love that. I love that piece of artwork, and I'm very appreciative of it. And it was so unprompted because I was just like, "You're amazing," and they reply with that art, and I'm like, "You had to do research. You had to open my toy house, open the character reference, and then draw that." Or
You ever just draw an OC?
Sometimes, actually, I would say I don't, because I don't actually have those skills. Despite the fact that most of the galleries contain like these like really basic looking doodles, but they're from a artist called Daily Arturia. Basically someone who draws a lot of Fate characters in this style, but they also do commissions, and I was like, what if I got a bunch of scrunkly boys of my scrunkly boys?
The Scrunkly Boys are so good.
I really do love them.
You have a lot of characters.
I do have a lot more characters than this.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
And we have 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Your Toy House page. There are 15 of them here.
There are 15, and we've not even finished. We are designing more characters.
Good.
There's some that are hidden that only Elvira and me can see, because they basically either have no art or they're very, like, in that very concept stage, and I was like, I'll create a page for them, and then I have not gotten any art for them yet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that will happen one day. Maybe that will happen.
One day.
Like, we don't have to rush this.
Yeah.
Because I might at some point, I might make a game using these characters. So I was like, I need to fill out the roster a little bit. I need to make sure that there's a character of each class and of each element combination. And that's where I get some of the newest characters, actually. But that's a whole other story. Maybe if I make it, I will talk about it.
Yeah, and then can come back and talk to us about it again.
I can definitely come back and talk about the other characters. There's so many that I have not mentioned and that I do love.
Yeah, we haven't even gone through all your main ones yet.
Not even any of the big ones that I would say, because there's been some recent characters that I've recovered from like D&D campaigns that fell through, and I've recovered them, and now they're in OC and they sort of fit the framework, so they're like, you're accepted into the pool.
Into the literary canon that is your pool.
Upcycling your abandoned D&D characters. I love that.
Oh hell yeah, we're doing that. There's so many characters being upcycled. It truly shows that if I love a character, I'll keep it. I'll keep it forever.
Good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any advice for our listeners for keeping things fresh with your OCs so that you hold on to them for longer? Like, obviously these guys must have gone through a whole bunch of like different changes, over the course of those many years. Just like, yeah, what do you do to keep things fresh, keep the characters interesting? Like, yeah, what's your secret? Why you hold on to these guys so long?
I don't really have a good answer for that, but I would say definitely just talking about them a lot. Because I do tend to talk about these guys a lot in like a very small group, like the friend group that I have with Uraxme and Limbonix, where we basically talk about our guys every now and again, or when we get art or get any sort of new story ideas for either of our universes, we just sort of talk about that over there. And I think it's kept the longevity of a lot of these characters for me, especially the ones that I really, really, really like. Because there's been some obvious characters that I like more than others. I could see it in like the amount of art that I've gotten of each of them. Like some of them also like, there's like 1 or 2 pieces of art, and then there's characters that have like 50 pieces of art. There's clearly being this there's this difference. But on the other hand, like, I do try to involve all of these characters somehow, because the way I usually design this is like, oh, I have this cool idea, either from seeing it in some game and being like, oh, I like this sort of design aspect, and what if I could use that to create my own character? Or I've played a game, I tried to design a new character, and I'm like, I really like this design, I want to do something with this, I want to flesh this out a little bit more, and I try to integrate these things. But on the other hand, yeah, it's tough. It's keeping them around is hard, because every now and again you're like, oh no, I've abandoned some of my children. Like I feel like some characters really got lost along the way, despite the fact that I do love their design in some way, shape, or form. Like just to name some off the top of my head is like Wynn and Ravaz and Celesta and Altair. Those are characters that are sort of gotten lost in between, like, the love for the other characters, despite the fact that I do actually like them a whole lot. But I gotta use them. I gotta think of like, oh, how do they fit within the story? Because the other part is I've been like I've worked on that story and I've like completely changed some of the story elements, and now I sort of feel like, oh, maybe it doesn't completely fit anymore, and as a result the character sort of ends up on the wayside, and like the main cast, and especially the characters that I love and my friends love the most, tend to get to be in the forefront of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really have any good advice other than to sort of talk about your characters and get your friends to love them, because Rain gets a lot of love this past year, ever since like someone decided to adopt them.
Yeah, I cosplayed Rain. I commissioned art of Rain. I've gone insane about Rain.
At the end of the day, isn't that what this podcast is all about? Just talking about your guys so that people will love them.
And listening to people talk about their guys so that you can love them. I love that.
So other people can go look at the really good art of Misere and be like, yeah, I want that on my tablet background. I want to show him to people and have people be mistaken.
Yeah, I do. Anyway, I think we should put this to a close because I am getting a little tired.
Yeah, that's a good place to wrap it up. All right, so, Tich, where can we find you? Do you have anything to plug? Definitely, we will link to your toy house.
I could plug my my Twitter account, which is just twitter.com/TichShowers. I'm on Tumblr, tichshowers.tumblr.com. I have a links website, tichshowers.neocities.org, where you can find me on a variety of places. That's basically for me. I will also plug Uraxmay and Limbonix. Uraxmay is like twitter.com/Uraxmay, and Limbonix is twitter.com/Limbonix. Because they have made so much art for me, they deserve a spot.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
We love respecting artists in this house.
We sure do.
I'll do my plugs next. You can actively find me on Tumblr, which is mattrumcoughton.tumblr.com, and I'm slowly letting all my other social media die.
Good. Kill it if you have to.
Yeah, people are like, join us on Blue Sky, join us on co-host. I was like, no, actually I like having less social media.
Do not perceive me, but the social media variant.
Unless I do a cosplay thing, and then I'll awaken all my social media again.
2024, all the hosts on this podcast are just gonna crawl back into their Discord hole and delete all their other accounts. So I'm calling it now.
Yeah,
this is the future that liberals want. And
essentially, you're gonna have to train a pigeon just to mail stuff to you. That's the way we're gonna contact the hosts.
Yeah. Speaking of, where can you find you, Emery?
Good question. I'm on For Affinity with the username Space Robot. You can check out my gallery there of things that I've drawn, and maybe even commission me for something. If you can get in touch with me about that on Discord, where is generally the only place I'm contactable, or on my email account that never gets any mail, spacerobotart@gmail.com, because why would you send an email in this year of our Lord 2023? I'm also on a podcast called We Rate Queerbait, where we explore the blurry line between homie and homo. Oh, what's the last thing? We recorded one for The Hobbit.
Oh, hell yeah.
Or no, not Fellowship. God damn it. We recorded one for Fellowship.
About the hobbits in Fellowship.
It is about hobbits is the thing. It has Bilbo in it right at the beginning there. It's his birthday. Anyway, I'm also on an upcoming audio drama pilot, news on which should be forthcoming. You can find this podcast, well, first of all, you can find our Discord linked in the show notes. We got art streams every Friday. We're gonna do Digimon streams starting tomorrow. We're back on Digimon, baby. We're gonna do Digimon Savers. The art streams are at 6 p.m. Eastern time. The Big Agumondays, as I'm going to be calling it, because Sabers has Big Agumon in it. Big Agumondays is at Mondays at 7 Eastern. So we are also on co-host and Tumblr, just with the username. Check out this guy on both. This podcast is part of the Noisespace.xyz network. You can go to Noisespace.xyz and check out all sorts of neat shows. There's just dozens of shows on there. There's covering so many topics with so many cool hosts. Just, if you haven't gone to Noisespace.xyz and just picked out a show to listen to, do that right now. Do it while you're driving on the highway and drinking sips of water.
I will take another sip right now.
Hell yeah. Alright, I think that about does it.
Yeah, that about does it. Don't forget to steal/adopt a guy today.
Exactly.
Consensually.
Maybe cast your fishing line into the local pool and steal a boy from there.
Maybe not my boy again.
Anyway, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.